Hello Hearthstoners, I'm the Game Diver and you are watching Learning Hearthstone, a channel all about learning Hearthstone. And today I'm going to be doing a Let's Play showing off a deck that I just constructed called Inner Spirit Priest. So first I'm going to walk you through the rationale for the cards I picked in this deck, and then we're going to test it out in some casual games to see how it performs. So the reason this is called Inner Spirit Priest is because the core synergy and the intended winning condition for this deck is between two spells unique to the Priest class, Divine Spirit and Inner Fire. So Inner Spirit Priest is a portmanteau of Inner Fire and Divine Priest, just combining those two words together into one word, into one phrase, I should say. So Divine Spirit is a 2-mana spell that doubles a minion's health. And Inner Fire is a 1-mana card that changes the minion's attack to be equal to its health, if you're not familiar with the Priest class. And if you cast these cards together on the same minion, you can end up with a minion with lots of health and also a very high attack equal to its health. So outside of these core spells, the next step is to figure out what minions I would like to target with Divine Spirit and Inner Fire. And there are many different ways to play this, and I might update the way I play this in the future. But for this draft of Inner Spirit Priest, I picked out 3 cards that I doubled down on to exploit the Divine Spirit Inner Fire synergy. And my first minion is Gurubashi Berserker, which is natively a 7 health creature for 5 mana. It starts out with only 2 attack, but due to its special effect, whenever this minion takes damage, gain +3 attack, it can quickly become very powerful. So, since it starts out with 7 health, there's the potential for doubling its health twice, which means it can go up to 14 if you get 1 Divine Spirit, and potentially up to 28 health, which is nuts. I don't think I'll ever get to see Gurubashi Berserker buffed up to 28 health, but even if I get it up to 14 health, that means that if I also get an Inner Fire, I could turn the Gurubashi Berserker at base level into a 14 attack, 14 health creature, and every time it takes 1 damage, that buffs its attack, so the amount of damage it can do can be very high and very lethal. The only problem with relying entirely on Gurubashi Berserker is that it could be taken off the board through removal spells, especially by the Rogue class or the Mage, which have some really great removal, and also a lot of the other classes too. So I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket. So in order to compensate for the loss of the Gurubashi Berserker, I have a secondary and a ternary choice in case Gurubashi Berserker is removed from the board. My second choice is to buff a taunt character that has high health, the Mogushan Warden, 7 health, just like the Gurubashi Berserker. Unlike the Berserker, this has taunt, which can be a good and a bad thing. If I buff it with Divine Spirit, it could become a very powerful taunt card. But at the same time, I can't hide this card behind another taunt. Most of the time, there's a way to do it by silencing the Mogushan Warden first and then casting Divine Spirit. But in general, because this starts out as a taunt card, I won't be able to hide it behind other taunts as I would with the Gurubashi Berserker. But like the Gurubashi Berserker, this starts out with very high health, which means doubling its health can give it both extremely high health and extremely high attack when synergized with Divine Spirit and Inner Fire. Okay, so what if Mogushan Warden and Gurubashi Berserker are removed from the board? Well, my fallback, my last-ditch fallback, is the Boulder Fist Ogre card, a 6-mana vanilla card, really, with no special effects, but which starts out with 6 attack and 7 health. All 3 of these cards, my first, second, and third choice win condition minions, the Gurubashi Berserker, Mogushan Warden, and Boulder Fist Ogre, share this much in common. They have very high health. In fact, they're the same health, 7 health. So this works just like the Gurubashi Berserker, and the Mogushan Warden. Just double its health, double its attack as many times as possible, and just deal a ton of damage to the enemy hero. Okay, so that's the win condition. Synergize Divine Spirit and Inner Fire with either Gurubashi Berserker, Mogushan Warden, or Boulder Fist Ogre, whatever comes into my hand. The main way I can lose with this deck is probably not if I run out of minions like the Gurubashi Berserker, Boulder Fist Ogre, and Mogushan Warden, but if I run out of Divine Spirit and Inner Fire. So if I cast Divine Spirit and Inner Fire on minions that are removed by, say, a Polymorph spell by the Mage or a Hex spell from the Shaman, then I basically lose my win condition and I have to find an alternative way to win. That aside, the next part of this deck, outside the win condition, is high card draw, because I'm basically trying to get to my win condition situation of having minions with high health and then Divine Spirit and Inner Fire as quickly as possible. So I have some cards that help me draw more cards in this deck. And the core synergy for card draw are two cards all unique to the Priest deck, Northshire Cleric and the Lightwell. For those of you who are not familiar with Priest, here's a quick rundown of how these cards work. Northshire Cleric is a 1-mana minion with only 1 attack and 3 health. And its special effect is whenever a minion is healed, draw a card. This synergizes extremely well with the Priest's hero ability, which is to heal 2 damage. So even just having the Northshire Cleric on the board taking damage, under 3 damage, means that I can cast heal and draw a card every time I cast heal, which essentially turns the Priest power into a draw card power, so long as I keep the Northshire Cleric alive. What's a card that synergizes really well with Northshire Cleric is Lightwell. For 2 mana, 0 attack, 5 health. At the start of your turn, restore 3 health to a damage-friendly character. This is great because having Lightwell and Northshire Cleric alive on the board at the same time means that if I have any minions with damage, they're automatically getting healed with Lightwell at the start of my turn, drawing cards for me, so that essentially I don't have to spend mana on using Priest heal and can just let Lightwell do all the work. Or if I'm really card starved, I can double down on the card draw by using the Priest heal ability and Lightwell to keep drawing cards. So that's the key way that I keep drawing cards, is synergy between Lightwell and Northshire Cleric if I can manage to keep them both on the board. The key phrase in there being if I can keep them on the board. So the third and final part of this deck strategy is keeping my win condition cards and my card drawing cards on the board. And the key to that is having taunt cards. Taunt is an ability that prevents the enemy from attacking your minions that are behind the taunt card. So I use most of my remaining card slots for taunt cards. And then the second part of that strategy for keeping my win condition and card draw cards on the board are removal spells. So a combination of taunt and removal. So here are my taunt cards. I focused mainly on cheap taunt cards that I can play as soon as I get my Northshire Cleric on the board, which it will be around, hopefully, turn 1. So that's why I have mainly low mana taunt cards, because I want them to be cheap, which means I'll be able to play them early in the game, which means I'll be able to play them when I have Northshire Cleric and Lightwell on the board, around turns 1, 2, or 3, ideally. So let's see here. The cheapest taunt card I have is a 1 mana Goldshire Footman, 1 attack, 2 health with taunt. And this is a really crappy card, but essentially it has the potential to buy me 1 extra turn of keeping Northshire Cleric on the board. It's not a card that's going to last, it's not a card that's going to take out other cards, but the main advantage is I could potentially get this in my first, second, or third turn, and that could be just the edge I need to keep a Northshire Cleric or a Lightwell alive, to get some use out of them. And then the next taunt card I have is the Frostwolf Grunt, 2 mana, 2 attack, 2 health. Nothing too special, just a solid early game card. And finally, an Ironfur Grizzly. 3 mana, 3 attack, 3 health with taunt. And I guess you could also count the Mogushan Warden. So that's a 4 mana card, 1 health, 7 taunt, even though this also does double duty as a win condition card. So yeah, my taunt cards are 1, 2, 3, and 4 mana. I don't have any taunt cards that are more expensive than that. With that in mind, if the Mogushan Warden gets buffed with Divine Spirit, I potentially have a 14 mana taunt card. For 4 plus 2, that's 6 mana. Okay, so that's my taunt strategy. I rely on having taunt in the early game to protect my key minions, such as Northshard Cleric, Lightwell, and perhaps my win condition cards like Gurubashi Berserker. And then in the late game, I'm hoping that by the late game, I've created my win condition, which is I've buffed up a character to some ridiculous amount of health and attack. And once I have a lethal minion on the board that can win the game, I'm relying on that minion to distract fire from my hero. So that's how I compensate for not having much taunt in the late game after turn 5. What else is there to say about this deck? Oh yeah, removal spells. Okay, so I have some easy removal spells for early and late game. For early game, I have Shadow Word Pain, 2 mana, destroy a minion with 3 or less attack. And for late game, Shadow Word Death, destroy a minion with an attack of 5 or more. And then Holy Nova, which is an area of effect spell, deal 2 damage to all enemies, restore 2 health to all friendly characters. This also synergizes well with the Northshard Cleric because it heals characters, and if you have Northshard Cleric while healing characters, that's going to keep drawing cards. So if I have a board full of injured minions with Northshard Cleric on the board, this has a potential for drawing a lot of cards for each damaged minion. And finally, Holy Fire, deal 5 damage for 6 mana, restore 5 health to your hero. I don't really want it for restoring health to my hero because the priest can already restore 2 health to itself with its hero power, but it's there for that 5 damage. It's kind of the priest equivalent of Fireball, roughly. Yeah, that spell is called Fireball for the mage class. So this is for removing the big minions on the board that couldn't be taken out with something like Holy Nova, or if I no longer have a Shadow Word Death available to me. So that's it. In review, Inner Spirit Priest, the essential synergy is using Inner Fire with Divine Spirit on a minion that already has a lot of health, and then giving it even more health and more attack to achieve a win condition in the game. Try to get to the win condition as quick as possible by having cards that draw more cards, and the key to that is the synergy between the Northshard Cleric and the Lightwell. And finally, keeping the cards that draw cards and also my win condition minions alive as long as possible to do their work through a combination of taunt and removal cards. That's it, pretty much. So I don't know if this is the final version of this deck. It's probably not, probably has a lot of mistakes, but let's take her for a spin, see how she does.
Anduin versus Anduin.
The light shall bring victory. The light shall burn you.
Okay, this is going to be Priest versus Priest. Okay, let's see here. First cards, I don't want these. I don't want Boulderfist Ogre. It's too expensive for early game. Ironford Grizzly is kind of on the border because it's 3 mana. I'm going to kick it out. And I'm going to kick out Divine Spirit because I don't need that yet. I don't plan on having my win condition minions in early game, so no point. Alright, I didn't get the cards that I want. I was hoping for some minions that cost 1 or 2 mana. That might turn real quick. Greet the opponent. Let's take a look at the cards in my hand. I got 6 mana Holy Fire, deal 5 damage, restore 5 health to your hero. 4 mana Mogashan Warden, 1 attack, 7 health, and taunt. 1 mana Inner Fire spell, change a minion's attack to be equal to its health. And 3 mana Iron Fur Grizzly, 3 attack, 3 health, with taunt. This is the card that I mulliganed out of my hand and it came right back to me, but that's okay. And finally, after the opponent passes their turn, into my hand comes a 1 mana Northshire Cleric, 1 attack, 3 health. Whenever a minion is healed, draw a card. This is one of the key cards in my deck. I'm going to put it out there and hope that he does not destroy it right away. There's a chance that he has removal, Shadow Word Pain. It's a spell that removes creatures with 3 attack or less. He could use that if he senses the Northshire Cleric as a threat. And there's a good chance that he would use that card if he could, or as soon as he can, because as a priest player, he probably knows how important the Northshire Cleric is to the priest strategy. So now he's coining out a Harvest Golem, 3 mana, 2 attack, 3 health. Death Rattle, summon a damaged 2 attack, 1 health Golem. That makes this card very annoying to deal with because it's essentially a 2-for-1 card. He's getting the Harvest Golem's 2/3 body on the first turn that he plays this card, and as soon as this card dies, it gets replaced with a 2/1 body. So a very high value card. Turn ends, and I get a 1 mana Power Word Shield spell. Give a minion +2 health and draw a card. Oftentimes I use this card just to draw a card, even if I don't care about how much health a creature has. I think on this turn I'm going to go with putting down the Ironfur Grizzly to protect my Northshire Cleric and attack the priest directly, just because I don't want my Northshire Cleric hanging around with 1 attack, 1 health, because that leaves her open to a lot of minions that can put down 1 attack on the first turn that they're played to the board. He heals himself and does nothing. Okay, so into my hand this turn comes a 2 mana Frostwolf Grunt, 2 attack, 2 health with taunt. There's no real need to put this on the board right now. I think the best choice might be to start trying to execute plays that allow me to draw more cards. So for instance, attacking with Ironfur Grizzly, which will remove the Harvest Golem's main body, replace it with a 2/1 damage golem. Then I can spend 2 mana healing the Grizzly to 3 health, which will draw another card. After which point I could consider putting down a Frostwolf Grunt, just to try to establish more board control. On the other hand, if he has some kind of area of effect spell or a combo attack, I could just be compromising an extra taunt character for no reason. But you know what? I know for sure that I want to heal the Grizzly and remove the Golem's first body. So let's see what card we get. And we get a Divine Spirit. You know what? I'm going to attack the Golem with the Northshire Cleric and throw down a Frostwolf Grunt. End turn. Kind of a risky play because I put the Northshire Cleric down to 1 health. He plays a 4 mana Light Spawn, 0 attack, 5 health. The special effect of this character is that its health, or its attack, is always equal to its health. So right now, because it has 5 health, it has 5 attack, which means it's probably going to kill the first thing that attacks it at the moment. I think what he wants me to do is to trade my Ironfur Grizzly and my Frostwolf Grunt to remove the Light Spawn. I think the play I should go for is to take it down to 2 health, which will mean I'll also take it down to 2 attack by attacking with the Frostwolf Grunt, trading my Frostwolf Grunt to bring this down to 3 attack, 3 health. Then cast Power Word Shield to give the Ironfur Grizzly extra health and draw a card. Then heal the Ironfur Grizzly to draw another card.
Time for killing.
Oh! Okay, I shouldn't have ended the turn so quick. Okay, into my hand came a 2-mana Shadow Word Pain spell, destroy a minion with 3 or less attack, and a Light Well for 2 mana, 0 attack, 5 health. At the start of your turn, restore 3 health to a damage-friendly character. I had 2 mana left at the end of my turn. I should have played Light Well. Or I could have played Light Well. He plays, and on his turn, a 5 mana Fang Creeper, 3 attack, 6 health with Taunt. And into my hand comes a 1 mana Inner Fire spell. Change a minion's attack to be equal to its health. I have some win condition cards in my hand. I might want to start putting those down on the board.
I wonder.
Thinking of using Shadow Word Pain to remove this creeper from the board and casting Light Well. I have the mana to do it.
Quickly consider.
Alright, let's do that. Dropping the Light Well, removing the Fang Creeper. Yeah, let's heal the bear. And attack. Into my hand comes a 2 mana Frostwolf Grunt, 2 attack, 2 health with Taunt. He's got a lot of cards in his hand, 7 cards. But fortunately I also have 7 cards, so we're equal on card count advantage. He's got 20 cards in his deck. I have 17 cards in my deck because I've been drawing more cards thanks to the Northshire Cleric Lightwell synergy.
Truth is my shield.
Well, actually, no, because I haven't benefited from that synergy yet, but mainly from the Northshire Cleric synergy, and now from the Lightwell synergy. Into my hand comes another Lightwell and also a 1 mana Goldshire Footman, 1 attack, 2 health with Taunt. He's played a 6 mana Sunwalker, 4 attack, 5 health, Taunt, and Divine Shield. Yikes. Divine Shield means the first time this creature takes damage, the Divine Shield absorbs all the damage. I've got 7 mana this turn. This might be the right time to use Holy Fire.
I wonder.
I think so. Going to attack with the Grizzly to remove Divine Shield. Cast Holy Fire to remove the threat from the board. And attack with the Cleric. Could have removal. So maybe I shouldn't play the Goldshire Footman until I absolutely have to, but I don't want him to execute a combo on his 7 mana turn. So I'm going to throw down the Goldshire Footman just as insurance. It could be a sacrifice if he uses Area of Effect to board clear, but I think it's worth the risk just to reinforce my Lightwell and Goldshire Cleric cards. If he doesn't play Area of Effect, but does try to do a multi-minion spell combo to remove Taunt and get at either Northshire Cleric or the Lightwell.
I wonder.
If the bear falls, he's reinforced by the Footman. If the bear doesn't fall, the bear will be healed by the Lightwell, which is going to draw me an extra card.
I must consider.
This deck seems to be working out pretty well, because I am winning. I've got full health, board control, He's got 25 health and thinking about what he should do. Either he's planning a really great combo, or he has too many good options to choose from, or he's got no idea what he's going to do. I'm hoping he has no idea what he's going to do. Oh. Okay, he just left the game then. He was playing those earlier turns, so maybe that was just his way of conceding. Or maybe, who knows? Who knows why he quit? Alright, so that was one game with Inner Spirit Priest. I'm going to count that as a win. The game considers it a win, but I want to have a solid win, like actually defeat the opponent with this deck. So let's go in for one more game. The deck was showing promise. I was doing well before the opponent left the game. I like to see how the cards perform in a full game with either a concede or a bona fide defeat.
Anduin versus Anduin.
Okay, I'm playing Team Wolf. Another Priest versus Priest matchup. Very interesting. Okay, I'm going to mulligan a lot of these cards. 6 mana is too much for the first turns. Get rid of Boulder's Ogre, Shadow Word Pain. That could be useful. I'll keep it. Kicking out the Gurubashi Berserker, 5 mana is too much. To start with, Frostwolf Grunt, 2 mana. That's a decent card. Okay, the Gurubashi Berserker comes right back, but I do get a Northshire Cleric, which is exactly the card I want. So, just to go over these cards slowly, let's take a look at the cards in my hand. I've got a 2 mana Frostwolf Grunt, 2 attack, 2 health with taunt. Okay, it's playing Mind Vision, which puts a random card from my hand into their hand. I've got a 5 mana Gurubashi Berserker, 2 attack, 7 health. Whenever this minion takes damage, gain +3 attack. This is one of my win condition cards. 2 mana Shadow Word Pain spell, destroy a minion with 3 or less attack. 1 mana Northshire Cleric, whenever a minion is healed, draw a card, 1 attack, 3 health for 1 mana. 0 mana Coin spell, gain 1 mana crystal this turn only. And into my hand on this turn, I got a 5 mana Holy Nova. Deal 2 damage to all enemies, restore 2 health, 12 friendly characters. I think the card I'm going to play, I'm going to coin out Frostwolf Grunt. And on the next turn, if conditions are hospitable, I'm putting down a Northshire Cleric. If he chips away at the Frostwolf Grunt doing 1 damage, then I have a healing target for Northshire Cleric in subsequent turns. Plays a Shield Bearer, 1 mana, 0 attack, 4 health with taunt. Fairly toothless taunt card unless he buffs it, and then plays another Mind Vision, putting a random card from my hand into there. So he has a good chance of having a Gurubashi Berserker, Shadow Word Pain, Northshire Cleric, or Holy Nova spell. Also, I know that he no longer has another Mind Vision card. So he won't be taking more cards from my hand unless he has Thought Steal.
I must consider.
Into my hand on this turn comes a 1 mana Power Word Shield spell. Give a minion +2 health and draw a card. I just noticed that there's no music in the game. I know music is turned on, but this is a weird bug with Hearthstone. Sometimes the music just cuts out for no reason. I think... Okay, let's take a look at my options. I could cast Shadow Word Pain to remove this. Or I could put down Northshire Cleric and buff one of my cards with Power Word Shield. I'm going to go for a card advantage and buff... I'm going to buff the taunt card.
Time for killing.
Do some obligatory 2 damage to the Shield Bearer, and end my turn. Into my hand comes a 3 mana Ironfur Grizzly, 3 attack, 3 health with taunt. So I have some backup taunt should the Frostwolf Grunt disappear. He casts 1 mana Power Word Shield, giving 2 health to his Shield Bearer, restoring it to 4 health. And draws another card. Plays another Power Word Shield, buffing the Shield Bearer further. He could be setting up for a combo if he has an option for giving attack to the Shield Bearer. Okay, he ends his turn, and in my hand comes another Frostwolf Grunt. I don't want him buffing this card, so I'm going to go ahead and use Shadow Word Pain to remove that card. Attack the priest directly with the minions and end turn. What do you guys think? Was that a dumb move? Because that shield bearer was only a potential threat, and he has a lot of cards in his hand, so he could have some real threats up his sleeve, which I would want to remove. Okay, he plays Thoughts that I would want to remove with Power Word Pain. He plays Thought Steal, taking 2 cards from my hand. He's taken cards from my hand 3 times, so he has a really good chance of having Gurubashi Berserker, because that is the card that's been in my hand the longest so far. He ends his turn, and into my hand comes a Shadow Word Death, the twin, not the twin, but the brother of Shadow Word Pain. Shadow Word Death destroys a minion with an attack of 5 or more, instead of just 3 attack or less. What will I do on this turn? I
must consider.
Do I throw down taunt cards, opening me to area of effect attacks, but also potentially giving me board control?
Quickly.
I'm going to put down the Ironfur Grizzly, attack with the minions,
Right away.
and end turn. And my rationale is this. There's the risk that I could lose all these cards if he plays some kind of powerful area of effect combo. On the other hand, having more minions on the board is always good for consolidating board control. It's really important that I don't lose the Northshire Cleric. So if he doesn't use an area of effect combo, he could try using some removal spells or a removal combo. Okay, hold on. This is kind of what I feared. Okay. He used Shadow Madness for 4 mana. Gain control of an enemy minion with 3 or less attack until end of turn. Use it to steal my Northshire Cleric. Have the Northshire Cleric attack the Ironfur Grizzly, essentially killing my Northshire Cleric. Okay. Alright, well in any case, it was a good move to put the taunt card up, because even though I lost the Northshire Cleric, at least I still have 2 minions on the board. What? Okay. Into my hand comes a 1 mana Goldshire Footman, 1 attack, 2 health with taunt. I'm not going to play that card. Instead, I'm going to put down a Gurubashi Berserker behind my taunt cards, spending all my mana. Do the obligatory damage to the hero, and get 1 step closer to the win condition for this deck, which is to put down a Gurubashi Berserker and then increase its health and damage. Okay, he plays a 6-mana Holy Fire spell, deal 5 damage, restore 5 health to your hero, uses it to remove one of my taunt cards, the Frostwolf Grunt. Takes his health back up to 24. Into my hand comes a 4-mana Mogushan Ward and 1 attack, 7 health with taunt. I think I'm going to put down the Mogushan Warden. And that's it. That's all I'm doing for this turn. Except for heal the bear. I could have put down Frostwolf Grunt, Goldshire Footman, but I'm not, because I'm watching out for area of effect removal. Okay, play 6-mana Sylvanas Windrunner. At the end of your turn, on Death Rattle is take control of a random enemy minion. In my hand comes a 2-mana Divine Spirit, double a minion's health. We got 7 mana this turn. Thinking I'm going to use Shadow Word Death, because I would like the chance to kill whatever random minion she takes. Okay, takes the Mogushan Ward, and that's fine with me.
Quickly.
Okay, let's do some damage here. And we will heal the bear. And put down one more taunt for reinforcement. I'm now trying to protect the Gurubashi Berserker. Okay, cast 3 mana Shadow Word Death, destroy a minion with an attack of 5 or more, takes my Berserker off the board. Okay. Cast Shadow Word Pain, destroys an enemy with 3 less attack, removes the bear. Glad I have that extra taunt card up. Okay. He's done with removal, puts down to Lightwell. What's coming on this turn? Okay, into my hand comes a 6 mana Boulder Fist Ogre. Fantastic, just what I needed. Every turn this Lightwell is going to be healing up the Mogushan Warden or the Priest. I really want to get rid of this Lightwell because that's going to allow him to consolidate board control. But I don't have a great way to do that right now. He has a lot of cards, so I might want to save Holy Nova for later.
I wonder.
Let's put down the Boulder Fist Ogre now. And the Frostwolf Grunt. That's it. Okay, the Lightwell heals the Mogushan Warden. Now it's a 5 health creature. Very annoying. Plays Holy Nova, dealing 2 damage to all enemies and restoring 2 health to friendly minions. Friendly characters, I should say. A 5 mana card. Plays Lightspawn for 4 mana, 0 attack, 5 health. Special effect is that its attack is always equal to its health. So for now it's a 5/5 creature. Does 1 damage with the Mogushan Warden to my character. Into my hand comes a 1 mana Power Word Shield. Give a minion +2 health. Draw a card.
I must consider.
Any character I don't get finished off has a chance of being healed by the Lightwell, but if I damage everything right now with Holy Nova, it decreases the chances of the Lightwell healing the card he wants healed. It also will reduce the Lightspawn's attack. You know, let's play Power Word Shield to draw a card, try and increase options.
Quickly.
You know, I've got 8 mana. I can play every card in my hand. We're going for the win condition here. I'm going to double the Ogre's health, give it Inner Fire, cast Holy Nova, remove his taunt, and end my turn. The Lightwell heals the Lightspawn, but at least it didn't heal his taunt, because now I have direct access to his minions and his character. On the other hand, I no longer have any cards. I've put all my eggs into the Boulder Fist Ogre basket, and he has a lot of cards, so he could have a good answer up his sleeve to the last play. He's hesitating, he's thinking carefully. He decides not to play that last card that was hovering over the board. Okay, he puts down a second Lightwell. He's going for 3 Lightwells. He stole a light well from my hand. That's how he has more than 2, because only 2 copies of a card are allowed in this game mode. Plays Holy Nova, doing 2 damage to enemies and restoring 2 health to his characters. Deals 5 damage straight to my hero. Doesn't bother trying to attack the ogre because he's trying to conserve his light spawn. Into my hand on this turn comes a 6 mana Holy Fire spell. Deal 5 damage, restore 5 health to my hero. I could use that right now. What's my biggest priority right now? Is it the light wells? Or this light spawn? I'm going to remove the light spawn. And instead of going for any of these characters, any of these light wells, I'm going to go straight for the face. Because when you have the ability to do 14 damage without being stopped, you don't walk away from that opportunity. And finally, I'm going to heal the Boulder Fist Ogre. End turn. He could remove this card on the next turn if he has a Shadow Word Pain card. Ooh, but those light wells healed him up real well. Restoring 3 times 3, 9 mana. Or, 9 health to his hero. Plays a Gurubashi Berserker. Healing himself like crazy. Oh, okay, he plays a Mind Control tech. I was worried for a second. I forgot how the special power works. It's a 3 mana, 3 attack, 3 health card. Battlecry if your opponent has 4 or more minions take control of 1 at random. I don't have 4 cards, so he cannot take control of this Boulder Fist Ogre. Scared the crap out of me for a second. Into my hand comes a 4 mana Mogushan Warden, 1 attack, 7 health, and taunt. Do I go straight for the face or start chipping away at the board? If he's able to restore 9 health, I keep saying 9 health every turn, that could slow me down, but
I must consider.
It might be worth using this Boulder Fist Ogre now while I have it in case he has a Shadow Word Pain up his sleeve.
Smash.
On the other hand, if I don't get rid of this Gurubashi Berserker, he could attack with the Gurubashi Berserker against the Mogushan Warden, take 1 damage, keep the Berserker alive, increase its attack, and start regaining some momentum on the board, which I don't want to let him do. So I took out the Berserker. Those light wells heal him like crazy. Well played. Whew. Closed out my turn by healing the Ogre. He's my win condition, pouring all my restore health effects onto that character.
Let me change your mind.
Uses the Cabal Shadow Priest, 6 mana, 4 attack, 5 health, to take control of an enemy minion that has 2 health attack, stealing my Mogushan Warden, giving him a taunt card, which keeps him in the game even longer, because now he has a taunt, which is exactly the kind of card he needed at this moment.
Ready for action.
Into my hand comes a 1 mana, 1 attack, 2 health with taunt, Goldshire Footman. I'm forced to use the Boulder Fist Ogre to remove his taunt card. I'm going to use my Lesser Heal to keep that Ogre alive. End turn. These light wells are a menace.
Well played.
Well played. Oh, amazing. He has come back from near death to full health using my own light wells against me. Amazing play. He plays his other Shadow Madness card, 4 mana, gain control of an enemy minion with 3 or less attack to steal my Goldshire Footman and remove him from the board. Cast Holy Nova to chip away at my Boulder Fist Ogre, and sacrifices Cabal Shadow Priest to take down the Boulder Fist Ogre. Into my hand comes a 3 mana Shadow Word Death, destroying a minion with an attack of 5 or more. I have no cards to use that on, so I'm going to focus on removing these light wells, which are making it impossible to kill the hero. End turn. My Boulder Fist Ogre is at 14 attack, 8 health. I think he's still safe, but you never know. It only takes 1 Shadow Word Pain card to remove my win condition Ogre from the board. He's going to play Divine Spirit, double a minion's health. Keep his light well alive. But it's not enough if I attack with the Boulder Fist Ogre. He's going to be restoring 6 health to himself every turn for each light well that's on the board. I'm going to play my light well. Get rid of that second light well. Use my lesser heal to keep Boulder Fist Ogre alive longer. I think I'm going to be able to pull a win out of this, but he's been doing pretty well. He plays a 1-mana Shield Bearer, 0 attack, 4 health with Taunt. Exactly the card he needed to stay alive for another turn. He's doing well. He's doing well. Okay, we're going to attack with the Boulder Fist Ogre. Remove the Taunt card. He's slowing me down, buying time for him to draw the right card. Will it be the right card on this turn? Top decking like crazy, 1 card at a time. He plays Divine Spirit, double minion's health. Okay, he's going to keep that light well alive a little bit longer. Do I remove the light? Well, this is the 4th light well I've seen him play. That means he took my light well twice. He had 2 light wells up his sleeve and took 2 of mine. Very interesting. Okay, I don't want him to... I don't want him to buff this light well and suddenly give it attack on 1 turn, so I'm going to give him another turn of life by destroying the light well instead of attacking the hero directly. Into my hand comes 6 mana Holy Fire, deal 5 damage, restore 5 health to your hero. Ooh, I really want to accelerate his death. But no, I'm going to save that to remove a pesky minion from the board. I'm going to save Holy Fire for board clearance.
You love my new recipe.
Okay, he casts... Oh, nice play. Well played.
Well played.
For those of you who didn't catch that, he played a 2-mana Crazed Alchemist, Battle Cry, swap the attack and health of a minion. Gosh. Alright, I ended my hand because I 1-mana Northshire Cleric. I'm going to play that to the board. I'm going to heal the Boulder Fist Ogre. That puts in my hand a 2-mana Shadow Word Pain, destroy a minion with fearless attack. I'm going to use that on the Crazed Alchemist. I'm going to attack with the Boulder Fist Ogre. Straight to his hero. No light wells. What you going to do now? I'm 2 turns away from killing him if he doesn't have the right response. Okay, well played. He concedes. Good game. Very interesting game, huh? He played 4 light wells, keeping him alive a lot longer than he should have lasted. But one thing we did learn is that this deck is pretty interesting. It plays pretty well. So I think the core strategy of this deck has been proven. Maybe it still has some problems to be discovered in future games, but the most important thing is not winning games, but producing interesting games, because that's what makes Hearthstone such a fun game. So anyways, I'm the Game Diver. You've been watching Hearthstone, Learning Hearthstone, a game all about learning Hearthstone. This is actually my first video, so thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please subscribe to check out my future content. And much more importantly than that, if you have any feedback, positive or negative, on things you'd like to see more of, things you'd like to see less of, advice on how I can improve either my game or these videos to make them videos that you want to watch, please let me know in the comments or by sending me a message. I'd really appreciate the feedback, and I may not be able to get to all feedback immediately, but I do try to implement as much good feedback as possible. So anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.